Here with head football coach Steve Johnson. And Coach, 3-4 now in the season, 3 wins in the last 4 games, big win against Gustavus 2 weeks ago. Talk about your team's performance and really what you liked about your effort against the Gusties that Saturday.
Well, we came out and just played great football, both sides of the ball. We were from the get-go, it was kind of our theme in the week to where we're just going to be who we are and get after it. And Jake Marsh, our quarterback, did a great job kind of spreading the ball around. And we had Gunnar Bloom as a back, kind of like backs that we've had with Logan and Phil Porta, to where they need a few carries to get rolling, and then they did. And Jake made some big plays, got a couple to Drew Neville and Marquardt. And those guys, they just did a great job. And so we kind of built a lead there, and the defense was just giving us the ball in some great spots. And second half kind of rolled around, and we really kind of continued. At first, it was like I was a little bit kind of ticked, but we played pretty well. Defense had some great goal line stand type things, and offensively we put them in a tough position. But almost all of our trauma, as we kind of reviewed the game, was based on penalties, and those are things that we just have to, in a championship type game, in a big game, which it was, you can't have that. You've got to solidify those things. So as a team, and it's not on a guy because it's all different things, but we had a couple holding calls. We had a couple touchdowns. We've had kind of a tough year that year. We've had 6 touchdowns called back on penalties. And so, that's disheartening, but I didn't feel like our guys did that, especially our defense played. They just stood out.
Well, it seems like when you're at your best is when you start fast. Is that something that you preach to the team, is getting off to a fast start? Obviously 32-3 at halftime, both sides of the ball really played well in that beginning half.
Yeah, not really. I think if we preach that and it doesn't occur, I don't think you can. That's there's kind of an obvious piece in that. Right. But what we do preach is trust in your base, and every single play is big, and we almost talk about nothing's as good or bad as it seems. So don't get rattled if it's bad, and don't get too crazy if it's good. And so really I'd like to do this whole year, I'd like to do better in the second half, to where we kind of come out of that and do a little bit better. And you just don't want discouragement or anything to change who we are. And I didn't. It may have looked like that in this game, but it didn't. And so that why I was encouraged with. And I think that this year we have had some things kind of, where something bad happens and we let it affect us too long, and that's really soft.
Well, let's talk about your opponent this weekend. You get St. Thomas, obviously still looking for their first loss. What do you need to do to be effective against the Tommies on Saturday?
Well, they've got an excellent team, but we're very excited to play them. The thing that they make you do is defensively, they just come after you like crazy, and they're going to punch in the nose. So offensively, we've just got to execute, and we've got to know where we're going with the football. We've got to do those things, and we've got to be not deterred by a sack or a big play by them, and just get fundamental. The neat thing that it does, and this is for me because I'm kind of crazy about this a little bit, is I love to be just who we are. Just be simple, sound. We got a great base, and I mean this in real life too, but we got a great base, so let's be simple, sound, and then the tricks will come off of the execution, that's up. So offensively, we just got to execute and make sure that we know where we're going, be purposeful in those things. And defensively, again, they just kind of come at you in waves, and we've got to stop the run. They've got real good backs. They lost their one guy, but they've got Treadle and Parks, and so they've got a lot of good weapons running, but we've got to make them throw the ball. And they kind of so far have been able to do whatever they want, but we need to make them at least a little bit one-dimensional to where we can kind of pin our ears back and do those things.
Awesome. Well, I think in closing, we would be remiss to not bring up the Cubs since we're wrecking the jersey today. What do you take from the Cubs World Series run here?
Well, I had nothing clean to wear. I had nothing left to wear, and it'll probably happen all week. But pretty jacked about the Cubs, and grew up, going to Cub games, and I grew up in the right field bleachers at Wrigley, and so that's my whole family's a little bit goofy that way, and this is obviously a once-in-a-lifetime because my great-grandpa might have known about the Cubs, but my dad was a big fan of the 45 Cubs, and so I was negative 11
Wow.
back then. So.
Well, Coach, looking forward to a fun week of obviously a big game on Saturday. Go get it against the Tommies Saturday.
Can't wait.
Thanks.